I've always worked hard for plural marriage. But what has Janelle done to help it? Janelle hasn't been living plural marriage. She's been living independence from a husband that's there when she wants him and has resources that she gets.
Kody is very, I don't want to say it, but anyway, he's delulu. He's very delusional, isn't he? The audacity for him to accuse Janelle of wanting his money or Janelle of wanting his body doesn't make sense. Janelle has been the main breadwinner for the family. I don't get where he comes off. Just because he's now sitting in this $1 million house doesn't mean that he's now the money bags and Janelle is a beggar because it's Janelle's money. That's the reason why he's sitting in that house in the first place. It's Mary's money. That's the reason why he's able to afford that house. Somebody needs to tell him the truth. But anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Click the like button. Turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. And definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Sister Wives, season 18, episode 6. So you have Christine with McKelty and Aspen with their husbands, sort of having a painting set, more or less. And they're just talking about, Christine, her relationship with Kody, and her plans moving forward. And personally, I feel like Christine, the main reason behind her moving or leaving Kody is seeing her how happy her children were in monogamous relationships and seeing that maybe polygamy wasn't for her anymore, because I think getting to see her children be loved and sort of have husbands that are there for them all the time and pay attention and sort of have these successful relationships, I feel is one of the main driving forces. Yes, she must have missed the children because they'd moved back to Utah, but I think that was one of the other main reasons why she decided to leave Kody. And she talks about dating and what she's looking for in a partner. I like how sarcastic she is when she talks about Kody and the type of man she's looking for. You can tell that she's really done with Kody. She's had enough and she's moving on and she's not going to go back. And I think part of it is just to sort of wind Kody up, just to get on his nerves. And I think the other part is just she doesn't care. She doesn't care. She's moved on. She's happy. Her daughters seem happy. They do seem happy with their husbands. Although Tony and McKelty seem more vocal than Aspen and her husband. I don't know whether that's who they are. They seem more quieter and more reflective and really don't say much about their dad. So I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. So in this episode, we're introduced to Mary's friend Jen, who's been staying at her B&B while she was in Flagstaff. I think she moved in after Mary's mom passed away. And so they're having a conversation about Mary moving her business and the fact that she needs to tell um, Robin that she's moving because she feels that nobody else will care and Robin is the only one who's going to be interested in her moving. She is anxious to tell Robin, I think, because of everything else that's going on. I said this in my previous review that Mary is only staying, in my opinion, in Flagstaff and with Kody because when she was catfished, there was a lot of backlash, and I think she doesn't want that drama, especially with her daughter. And I think this is why she continues to stay in fact Flagstaff, even though she's no one there. She doesn't have a husband, she doesn't have any children there. All she has is it's not even a sister wife, it's a friend, Robin. I don't think she really sees that much of Janelle. So personally, I don't understand why she's still there because Cody said he's never going to go back to her. And also, she talks about her mom and her mom, it's really sad. It's almost a year since her mother passed away. So she's reminiscing on that. And she sort of makes plans to move her clothing business down to her B&B, and they plan on going to clear out uh, a cottage or something in the back of the property. So do I think, as she said, I think Cody, this is the last thing he needs because he's already had Christine leave. He's been playing games with Mary, and Mary has just stayed there, and he's enjoyed Mary staying there because obviously, whatever finances she had were being contributed to the family pot. So the idea that Janelle is going to want a separation, Christine has left, and Mary is now going to be mainly focused at her B&B. This is about to send him in a tailspin and is about to lash out. That's the impression that I get. And Mary was sort of saying she doesn't want Cody to assume that she's given up and she's moving on. But it's like he told her he's not interested. So why should she stay? He just needs to give her the go ahead. In my opinion, if Mariah or Kody can give Mary the go ahead and say you're free to leave, Mary would leave like yesterday. I think she's just waiting for one of them to just say, okay, it's fine. You've tried your best. It hasn't worked out. It's time for you to go. And then she'll go. So Janelle meets, she has an appointment with Kody and they sit down and, to catch up since their biggest blowout in their marriage. And so Janelle is sort of speaking about prior to Kody arriving that, she's always been non-confrontational. She's always just wanted things just to move on. She's always avoided any sort of debate or argument. And every time things were going left, she would always say, okay, fine, let's move on. And so when Kody arrives, he thinks Janelle is just going to say, okay, let's move on. Because he arrives and pretends as though, yes, things happen, but now they're back in their good place, they're back to square one and they're going to move on. Janelle has been part of Kody's finances, and because of that, he's always tried to keep her sweet and he's always tried to keep in her good books. And so, the idea that she's upset and she's possibly talking about wanting her money from Robin's property that they invested in, I think this is why he suddenly mellowed and came back and was trying to be all sweet. Oh, I'm not going to shout at you, I'm not going to be angry with you. That was all an act to get Janelle in his good books. I think if he had to choose out of his four wives, he would have kept Robin and would have kept Janelle. He doesn't care about Mary, he doesn't care about Christine, but he would have kept Janelle because she's the money bag, and he would have kept Robin because that's the one he loves. Mary, maybe he would have kept her there just because he knows she also contributes to the family part. But Christine wasn't really contributing that much anymore because all the children were grown up. I think this is why Kody was happy to lose her, because even in their conversation, he's sort of, oh, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to get upset. Are you sure you want us to be separate? And it's just like, she's told you she wants to be separate. She is going to be separate, and chances are she's going to move on. Because I think as soon as she said to him, I want us to continue to be separate, he realized that, oh my God, she's about to leave me. He realized she's about to leave me. And this is where he started to sort of try, oh, I'm not saying this, I'm not saying that. And then she asked him, she was right to ask that, yes, you're upset with me, you're upset with my boys. Why didn't you speak to Savannah? Well, he couldn't find an excuse. And then sort of came up with this, oh, when Janelle and Christine kicked me out of their house, that stopped me having any contact with my kids. And it's like, seriously. You could come and take your kids and take them out for a meal. You could come and take your kids, take them for sport or to the library, or do something else that doesn't involve the mother. That's a silly excuse. It's really a silly excuse. And he looked foolish, and he didn't have an excuse for that. And so for him to continue to bring up Christine doesn't make sense. Oh, when Christine left, she didn't. Christine has moved on. It's time to move on. Deal with your wives that you're currently in a marriage with before you're left with nothing. It's interesting that in this episode, all we get to see is Mary and Janelle sort of back and forth. I wonder what happened to Robin. Anyway, Janelle and Kody continue their conversation. Obviously, they're trying to to reach a resolution and sort of trying to see what's the way forward. And Kody keeps bringing up Christine and Christine this and Christine. At one point, Janelle had to say to him, "You need to sort of stop talking about Christine because." This has nothing to do with what we're saying. And for him to sort of say, oh, Janelle is only interested in me because of my packs and my six pack, she only sees me as a money bag. That doesn't make sense. He's not that good looking as he thinks he is. Maybe that's what he tells himself in the mirror, or maybe that's what Robin is telling him, but it's not the truth. He needs to buy a different mirror. And also, in regards to finances, Janelle has always been the main breadwinner for the family ever since she got married to Kody. So the idea or the audacity for him to say, "Oh, all she sees me is as a money bag, and because I'm not providing for her financially, that's why she's done with me," and it's like, no, the house you keep calling your house, your house, your house, you got it as a result of Janelle and Mary. You didn't get it as a result of Robin's finances. You got it because Mary and Janelle pulled their finances so that Robin could get a house. So you need to stop. And the fact that he keeps saying, "Oh, my younger children, my younger children," and it's like, they're all your children, all of them. The younger children, the older children, they're all your children. How do you think they're going to feel watching you on TV saying stupid things like this? I don't get that man. He's so frustrating. He's so frustrating. I can't wait for Janelle to tell him she's leaving, and I can't wait for Mary to tell him that she's leaving as well. And let's see how he and Robin will cope. I have a feeling Robin is going to leave him, really, because what's the point of staying with him? She only liked him because, he had wives that were bringing in the finances. And now that those wives are leaving him, I have a feeling she's going to leave him as well. But anyway, I digress. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.